Before settling into a new city, most people would want to know the local laws. What happens if you speed? What happens if you steal? What happens if you destroy public property? Pretty normal questions, right? Now let's apply those same questions to Bikini Bottom, a city where a boating instructor gets sent to prison so often that jail practically feels like a second home. A city where a known criminal openly announces his plans to steal from the same business every week and somehow remains free. A city where police officers can appear out of nowhere in seconds, yet still fail to stop the exact same crimes from happening over and over again. At first glance, Bikini Bottom looks like a cheerful underwater paradise. But the longer you watch SpongeBob SquarePants, the more one question starts to stand out. How do the laws of this city actually work? Because despite all the chaos, Bikini Bottom clearly has police officers, courts, judges, prisons, and criminal punishments. People get arrested. People get sentenced. Rules are enforced. The problem is that none of it seems consistent. And once you study it closely, it feels less like a normal legal system and more like a set of hidden rules nobody ever talks about. So today, we're breaking it down into something clearer. The actual laws of Bikini Bottom. Not official laws written on paper, but the patterns that seem to control how justice really works in the city. And once you understand these laws, Bikini Bottom stops looking random and starts looking structured in a very disturbing way. The first thing you notice about Bikini Bottom's legal system is that it almost never prevents anything. It only reacts. When something goes wrong, the response is fast, almost instant. A crash happens, police appear. A public disturbance, police appear. A full-blown disaster, somehow, law enforcement is already there, or arrives within seconds. But here's the contradiction. Despite this speed, the same problems keep happening again and again. SpongeBob crashes while driving. Patrick causes chaos in public. Plankton executes another theft attempt. And the cycle repeats. Nothing is truly prevented, only cleaned up afterward. It creates a strange system, where law enforcement feels more like damage control than justice. And that raises a bigger question. If the system knows what will happen, why doesn't it stop? But that's only the beginning. Because once you look at repeat criminals, the system becomes even stranger. In most cities, repeated criminal behavior leads to permanent consequences. But in Bikini Bottom, something very different happens. Criminals don't get removed. They get recycled. The best example is Plankton. For years, his entire existence has revolved around one goal: stealing the Krabby Patty secret formula. He doesn't hide it. He announces it. He plans it. He fails. Then he tries again. Robots, disguises, mind control, infiltration, advanced technology, nothing is off limits. And everyone knows it. Mr. Krabs knows it. SpongeBob knows it. Even the audience knows it. Yet Plankton is still allowed to operate the chum bucket right across the street. In a normal system, this would end quickly. But in Bikini Bottom, it doesn't. Which leads to a disturbing possibility. Plankton isn't being stopped permanently because he isn't meant to be. He is part of the system's balance, a constant threat that never fully disappears. Because without him, something about Bikini Bottom would feel incomplete. And that idea becomes even more obvious when we look at someone very different. In Bikini Bottom, responsibility doesn't always go to the person who caused the problem. It goes to the person the system assigns it to. And no character suffers this more than Mrs. Puff. Her job is simple: teach boating safety. But her student is SpongeBob SquarePants. And SpongeBob turns every lesson into a complete disaster. Crashes, explosions, property damage, public chaos, entire streets destroyed during driving lessons. And somehow, Mrs. Puff is repeatedly the one who gets punished. In multiple episodes, she is arrested and sent to prison, not once as a throwaway joke, but repeatedly across the series. And yet, she always returns to her job. Always back to teaching. Always back in the same system. This creates a strange pattern. Instead of fixing the real problem, the system assigns blame where it's most convenient. Because if Mrs. Puff disappears from the system, something else breaks, which suggests she isn't just a victim of the law, she's a necessary part of it. But if that's true for her, it might also be true for the entire economy of Bikini Bottom. Some places in Bikini Bottom seem to exist above normal consequences. The best example is the Krusty Krab. At first glance, it's just a fast food restaurant. But when you examine it through a legal lens, it becomes something else entirely. Workplace safety? Questionable. Business ethics? Questionable. Hygiene standards? Often questionable. Mr. Krabs runs the restaurant with one priority: profit. Every decision is filtered through money. Cut costs. Increase margins. Avoid spending. Push employees to their limits. In most legal systems, this would trigger constant inspections, penalties, or shutdowns. But in Bikini Bottom, the Krusty Krab remains untouched. Still open, still popular, still thriving, which leads to a strange conclusion. Some institutions in Bikini Bottom are not regulated like normal businesses. They are protected because they are essential to the city's survival. And once you see that, another pattern becomes impossible to ignore. Bikini Bottom is constantly in chaos, but it never collapses. That's the most important contradiction in the entire system. Buildings are destroyed. Public disasters occur. Criminal schemes unfold. Entire neighborhoods experience panic. And yet, everything resets. Life continues. Businesses reopen. Citizens return to normal. It's as if the city is designed to absorb destruction instead of preventing it. Chaos is not eliminated. It is managed. And that management creates stability. Because if everything was strictly controlled, the system might actually break under pressure. So instead, Bikini Bottom allows chaos to happen, as long as it doesn't destroy the city completely. Which brings us to the final and most important law. No matter what happens in Bikini Bottom, one thing is always guaranteed. The system continues. Plankton returns. Mrs. Puff returns. Spongebob returns. The Krusty Krab remains open. The police keep responding. The city keeps functioning. Nothing is permanently removed. Nothing is permanently fixed. Everything is temporary, except the system itself. Which suggests the real purpose of Bikini Bottom's laws is not justice. Not fair. Not in order. But continuity. The goal is simple. Keep the city alive. No matter what it takes. Even if the rules don't make sense. Even if the punishments are inconsistent. Even if chaos is constant. Because in Bikini Bottom, survival matters more than structure. So when you step back and look at everything together, Bikini Bottom stops looking like a normal city with broken laws and starts looking like a system built around survival through chaos. A system where law enforcement reacts instead of prevents. Criminals are managed instead of eliminated. Responsibility is assigned instead of earned. Businesses are protected instead of regulated. And chaos is absorbed instead of removed. Which brings us back to the original question. What are the laws of living in Bikini Bottom? And the answer might be this. There are no traditional laws that make sense. Only systems designed to keep the city from falling apart. So maybe the real question isn't whether Bikini Bottom has laws. It's whether those laws are meant to protect justice, or simply protect the existence of Bikini Bottom itself. And if you had to live there for a week, the real test wouldn't be understanding the laws. It would be surviving them.